So, hello again. Thank you very much for someone who liked my video, for like three people who liked my video. I appreciate so much. And yeah, I'm busy and I cannot really script things, but I just want to keep this going and, see how that goes. Okay, so quick introduction again. So I'm Japanese, originally from Japan, Tokyo. Started to live in Europe 8 years ago. I stayed Paris for the most of the time in the first several years, and then last 3.5 years I decided to do digital nomad life. So I say digital nomad, but I would like to say nomad life. And I left the apartment in Paris, and I was living, moving different cities, mainly in Europe, almost every month with my suitcase for 3.5 years. Uh, and I moved back in Paris, but I want to share, experience during this time. And today, so maybe another thing is that I have a 9 to 5 job. So during this time, I was also working and as a senior data scientist. And yeah, so just information that I was doing this without job, and I was also not a freelancer. I was working as a 9 to 5 digital data sorry, not digital, senior data scientist. Yeah, by the way, I'm also testing out AirPods 3 audio, so it should be better. But anyway, today I want to talk about something interesting. So, in total, during this time, I stayed in 57 Airbnb, which is a lot of Airbnb. Thank you, Airbnb, for sponsoring this video. But no, they are not sponsoring. But I'm a heavy user. And I'm not really trying to promote the Airbnb. But what I'm trying to promote is to borrow someone's lifestyle through living in someone's apartment. So during this digital nomad life, I stayed in different kinds of apartments, right? So not only cities, but apartment. And that allow me to have this, someone's lifestyle for a while and experience it and evaluate it and see if I like it or not. And I think this is extremely important to first save money and second to optimize your life. So certain things you cannot know unless you actually live with it and experience it, right? Um, and for example, before buying, I don't have anything. Like I don't own anything. I just have four suitcase. My life is for four suitcase. Okay, quite minimalist, let's say, and but I get to experience a lot of life through living in different environment. And often Airbnb, so it's not the hotels, it's someone's apartment, right? And especially if someone was actually living there and renting there, you have the taste of this person's lifestyle. And yeah, for example, before buying apartment, I think it's smart to experience different and explore different apartment using service like Airbnb and see how you would like it or not before actually buying it. And because like once you buy it, it's like biggest investment of your life, right? And people say, okay, we can sell it if we don't like, but you're paying notary fee and the real estate agency, which cost like already fortune, right? Here in France, notary fee is 8% of your purchase and 5% for the real estate, right? So you're losing this money. So and so I saw today, I saw someone um selling their house, like purchasing like this beautiful house, and then he's selling it again. And I mean, okay, if he has that kind of money, oh, good for you. But most of us, including me, cannot take such a risk, and but we still want to experience it, right, to optimize our life. So renting some, okay, if you are dreaming of very luxurious life, why don't you then rent this apartment, the very luxurious dream apartment of yours, for a month. Okay, it costs a lot, I know that it costs a lot, but usually 1 month has discount, huge discount, and you can rent it as like apartment. I know that it costs still, but it's much much cheaper than buying the apartment and then trying to experience it, right? So yeah, I was just thinking about that, and although I was saving money while traveling, it's crazy, right? I was saving the money, but at the same time, I was experiencing so many lives that now I know what I want much clearly um, than before, right? Okay, so I'll give you some of the examples. So, uh, first thing I realized that is that maybe classic thing is that living in a big apartment looks very nice on the picture, and like all these garden and plants and huge space, so many rooms. Okay, sounds great, but it comes with hidden cost, hidden tax, which is the maintenance of the apartment. And that's the beauty of digital nomad. So when I'm staying some place, you at least, well, most of the time I will stay there for a month, if not several months. So I need to clean the entire apartment by myself, and plant, water the plant, and then trying to keep everything together. Uh, and then I kind of realized that it was taking so much, mental space. So these like cleaning and the taking care of the. I even did 2 cat sitting, which was amazing experiment. I mean experience. I love animals, so um, and like it's and having apartment, a big apartment with a beautiful cat seems dreamy, but in real life, there are so many things that you need to do daily that your mind is taken up for that. And for me, I think that is not a priority in my life. Um, of course, you can try to hire someone for cleaning, someone for the plant, and taking care of the cat. But who has that kind of money, I don't know. Just thinking about it is just, I don't know, makes me don't want to live there, because you're constantly thinking about maintaining the apartment and house, right? So yeah, that's my take on these like big, beautiful, luxurious apartments. Of course, there are like certain things I want to keep from this apartment, some elements that I want to keep, but in general, I think, for me, I prefer freedom, and I really like to work on some creative work, and um, my work, and some, I don't know, like they're different things, and like cleaning and keeping the state of the apartment, maintaining the apartment. Yeah. So I would also think about leaving in the different cities time to time. So that doesn't allow me to do that. This like big apartment doesn't allow me to do that, because you are paying so much, and if you leave the apartment, you have to hire someone to keep that. Like watering the plants, and then pet sitter, etc. So um, and then another thing is, this is interesting, but I was also living with a host time to time. And when you are living with host, it depends on the host, right? But you are invited to host's apartment. Therefore, first of all, you get to learn how they are living, and you get to experience that, to live their way. And then moreover, like for me, what was interesting was to get to try what they have. So I remember in San Sebastian in Spain, amazing. So I was staying with the amazing, beautiful Spanish host, and um, she let me wear her clothes. So actually, San Sebastian was one of the first city I've started to live. And before that, prior to that, I was only wearing black, white, gray, monotone things, and office casual, like some elegant style. And I thought that was my style. And people told me, these colors suit me the most. And I never thought I would wear a colorful clothes. But she had all the colorful things. So like pink and yellow, and these very colorful clothes. And I was like, no, 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 I can't wear that. But like she was like, oh, it will look good on you, and she put me like this like yellow dress. I was like, no, I'm Asian. My skin is yellow. Yellow doesn't fit me. No, no, no. And then turned out to be so nice. I remember the feeling of wearing that dress. And I went to the beach with her wearing that dress, and wearing a pink bikini, which you know I cannot believe. But I didn't even have a bikini, because I didn't thought that I would go on the beach with bikini. So I was like, no, I don't have any, bikini. And then she was like, oh, you can wear mine. And then voila, I was wearing that. And you know what? Thank, Thanks to her, because she forced me to wear these things and go to the beach, I get to experience being this woman, right? And I loved it. And since then, my style has changed. Look at me, like, okay, it's a bit far from that period. I changed, evolved later, and then now I have this style, a little bit of like a Parisian taste to that. But yeah, that was the start of changing my style, and then it tapped into my feminine energy. So I was enjoying being this, feminine woman, and wearing colorful things. That changed my like vibes. I think I became positive thanks to that. Like wearing colorful things definitely changes your mood to positive. Um, and then I was like, why didn't I even realize until this point? It's so crazy. Your belief system is so strong that, okay, why don't you realize that? Okay, just, try to like wear colorful things by yourself. I don't know why, but it didn't occur to me even at once. My belief about me was so strong. Maybe because even my fortune teller in Japan was telling me that these colors, stick to these colors. So I was like, this is my identity. I will not buy anything else to waste my money, space, etc. But water, I was so impressed by wearing these colorful clothes. And yeah, so I was a little bit passionate about this topic. So, borrowing the identity. So staying by someone's house, you can borrow the identity. And finally, I would like to say that it's small but very important things. You can borrow the utils. So for example, in the kitchen, there are, different host has different things. Different country have also different things. Coming from Japan, I had no idea what people are using for cooking. And living in someone's house, you get to experience, what it's like. And for me, what was game changer? What I realized is that, I've tried, right, so many different kitchen, and I realized that really good knife and mixer changes my motivation for cooking. And I eat better when I have these utils, and I feel better. Also, I, learn like different new recipes, and that that changes my life positively. These small things, like it can be different for you, but some like small cooking utils changes your behavior and then changes your everyday feeling, which is crazy. Um, and so another thing is, for example, sometimes you can um, rent a bike from the host. And I was, living with the bike, owning, like becoming an owner of bike for several months. And I would realize that it's so nice to have a bike because, first of all, you don't really need to go to the gym because you are biking, that's the exercise naturally doing. Bike lets you to go to into the nature or any destination you would like. And uh, yeah, and then, thanks to that, your mood becomes better. So uh, yeah, but like bike and these things, like, okay, you might say you could have already invested in it and then try it yourself, but these small things can add up. And I'm minimalist, so generally I don't want to buy things So borrowing things for me is the best thing to when I want to try. And yeah, now I love riding a bike. Another thing is robotic robotic vacuum cleaner. This is also game changer. So if we are living in a small space, it doesn't matter. But if you're living in like 40, 50 square meter apartment, and if you have a cat, wow, this is a game changer. You click the button and it cleans everything. um but if you and especially I have a long hair which falls, a lot of hair which falls so much. I mean, yeah, having this is game changer. If I were to live in a big, kind of like a bigger space, yeah. So, and I also had different coffee machines, right? There's so many different type of coffee machines, and sometimes it was like over functioning. Okay, I don't need all these details functioning. I just want like these simple functioning, and so okay, I know what I want now much better, right? And I just wanted to say that you don't need to have a fortune to experience all these. And, I think it's important to explore all these different lifestyle to choose what is the best for you before investing all in at once. Um, I hope this was helpful, and let me know how